How are you now?
Howdy.
That's Travis. I'm Kevin. We're H&H Prospecting. If you're new here, thanks for coming along on the adventure again. If you're not new here, we're back on our new spot. We're waiting for Patty to show up. We actually got Jamie here with terrapin rocks going out with us. I actually got him convinced to go across the water. Got the sluice box with us today. Actually gonna put that in the water, do some sluicing. I'm gonna do some sluicing. Travis is gonna go up and do some more prospecting, and that way we can get a better read of what's going on this new bar. So pitter paddle, let's get at her across the river beds. Pitter paddle.
Alright, so now everyone's here, game plan. I'm gonna take most of the gear, and Patty and Travis are gonna go across with most of the gear, and then we're gonna come back for more gear and pick up Jamie. And I, of course, I'm gonna go across in my kayak, because I'm a special boy. And the first launch is so far successful. Well, there they go across with the two sluices. All three of them. You can see Travis doesn't even know where he's going. Oh, what you gotta do to get that shiny? Can't get that shiny sitting on your hiney.
Nice and steady and slow.
Pitter paddle, boys, pitter paddle.
Make sure that you're switching sides to keep that nose pointing in the right direction.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Everyone made it across the river safely. Got our gear. Get that all together, packed up, and walk about 4 or 5 miles down the river here. All right, now that we've walked somewhere between half a mile and 10 miles in, somewhere in between there, let's find somewhere to put our sluice boxes.
As I walk up this gravel bar, what I'm looking for is any kind of bedrock that might be poking up. I'm watching the rocks, like you can see right here in this channel. There's a nice big old pile of heavies, and then sands behind it. You can see these trails of heavies. So those are kind of what I'm looking in and following, and I'm just gonna make an educated guess and pick a spot to pull some material. So I took a couple pans out of the hole that I started last time we were here. And the last time I'd gotten right on top of a clay layer. This time I got down below it, and it seems as though the plus 20s I was finding seemed to peter out. So I'm going to head downriver a ways and see if I can't find another spot and see where this gold's going. I'm panning downriver, didn't turn nothing up, so I headed upriver. This is right off the surface. Looks like I'm going the right direction now.
It's definitely been a minute since I've set up a sluice, but she looks like she is running and ripping pretty good. We'll know for sure once we start putting some cons through her, but looks great. Let's go get some dirt put through it. Gotta make sure you stay fueled up when you're out here working. How, Patty? Meat stick. All right, we got our gold slinger bucket full of water, our classifier ready to go. We got our tools, we got our sluice down there in the river. We've had a safety meeting. I think we're finally ready to actually get some gold. Pitter patter. All right, I got me about a half a bucket of minus 1/4 inch classified material. I don't want to go too much in that bucket. That 1/4 inch minus gets real heavy and it is slippery walking out there. I don't want to dump it. You can see we're getting nice and underneath that rock. Being very careful as we go underneath though to make sure that we're not taking too much material underneath off the sides. Last thing I want is that rock to tumble in on top of my hole, or on top of my hand while I'm digging in that hole. So yeah, let's go run this first half a bucket through the sluice box, see if there is anything in the siding mats, and that'll tell us if it's worth keep on digging down. Oi, we've just spotted a wild Patty cleaning his sluice box. Oi, he ruined it. That ass though. Let's see if we can't put our first scoop through the sluice box here without dropping our phone in the water. Here we go. See how she's running. Well, shoot. I don't think it gets much better than that, folks. Let's do another one. Another little tester scooper. Then I'm gonna have to turn this off and go production mode. I actually want to get some buckets run today. All right, yeah, that is running great. So I'm gonna run this bucket. Look at that piece of gold right there on those 2 scoops. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh, that's a nice piece. All right, yeah, I'm gonna run this bucket. Pitter pat. First half of bucket through. You can see the sluice box is running perfectly. Everything's lining up behind the riffles and transferring as it should. Not a whole lot of colors, but they're definitely, I'm seeing at least 20. I don't know how well they'll show up in the camera in the shade here, but at least 20 pieces that are bigger than fly poops, bigger than what I'm used to seeing at our secret spot. So I actually think, and they're chunky looking for small pieces too. So I definitely think I'm gonna pull at least 1, not 2 more buckets underneath that rock, and hopefully find some bigger flicks. All right, so we got our second half a bucket ready to go down to the sluice. I know a half a bucket doesn't sound like a lot of material, but when you're actually classifying it down to 1/4 inch, it actually ends up being about 10 to 12 full pans that I put in there and classified down to get that half a bucket of classified material. Now, I'm getting pretty down low, probably near about a foot off the surface, and I'm getting into some really thick clay. Now, normally that kind of deters me because when I get into a clay layer, usually that clay is so thick that the gold doesn't fall through. The gold will actually sit on top of that clay. It's not always the case, but sometimes usually it is. But I'm still actually finding a lot of cobble and big rocks in the clay, so that tells me that there's other heavies falling through. So I'm going to keep chasing it and following it down. Some also cool things I have found: some decomposing bedrock. You can see that's some granite just crushing up in my hands. That's always great signs. A really cool little agate, and I'm pretty sure that this is petrified wood. It almost looks opalized though, or a piece of like it almost looks like a knot off a tree. You see, but it almost looks opalized, petrified. Ask the boys about that, see what they think. All right, let's go on this other bucket, see what she has. Second half a bucket through, not seeing a whole lot of pieces, but there is one nice looking flake sitting right there. Hopefully there's some more of those that have rolled down and got stuck in the carpets. There's definitely some color in there. Just a reminder, guys, we are giving away that 6+ carat faceted Oregon Fire opal. Make sure you go back and watch our last video for the details on how you can enter to win that. Decided I'm not super happy with what I've seen coming out of down below so far on that side of the rock. So I decided to come right behind the rock and remove the first couple inches of overburden. We'll take a pan from right there on top, see what that shows, because I knew a pan right there on top, directly underneath the rock, actually showed some nice pieces. If not, I think we're gonna go up river a little ways and see if we can't more pinpoint that deposit like Travis has been doing today. He seems to think there's a good spot about 50 feet in front of me, so I might go check that out. I am definitely gonna move to the other side of that rock. I classified 3 pans worth of material down to 1/4 inch, which gave me about 3/4 of a pan. And look at those. I mean, those are up, that's 7, 8 plus 20 pieces. And when I say plus 20, I mean plus 20 screen. Oh wow, there's even more hiding underneath there. Yeah, we're gonna switch to the other side of that rock and pull at least a half a bucket out of there. Sun's kind of starting to get low. I probably only got time to run one more, so let's get at it. Ooh, I'm excited. Alright, let's run this third bucket and see what it comes up with. You can kind of see what's in the mats now. Oh, wrong way. There we go. See a couple pieces shining up. You can clearly tell what is gold, what isn't. What shines is gold, what doesn't shine isn't gold. So let's run this other 3/4 of a bucket from the other side of that rock and see what it comes up with. I think it's going to be better. Definitely some more color popped up out of that bucket. And there is a really nice piece sitting right there. Right on. So I think we'll let this clean out, you know, let it do its thing for a couple minutes. And then we'll pull her out of the water, clean her out, and see what we're working with today. I'm not going to be able to film cleaning out the sluice box because the boys are out hiking and exploring. But before I do clean it out, I just wanted to see if we could actually see all the gold in the siding mat. There's actually quite a bit more there than I thought there was. So I'm really excited to get this cleaned out and see what's there. We need to replace these mats. You can see where they're coming up on the sides here. Make sure you stay tuned to a future adventure to see how much gold is underneath that mat. So I panned that down and there's still got to be 4 or 5 plus tablespoons of just solid black sands because of how the water's moving here and the size of the gold. I'm really not comfortable panning it down any further here. We'll take it home and finish it. The reason being is as I was panning it and getting those blondes off, just as soon as those blacks came back, I was already seeing a bunch of gold. There it is, already popping up. Oh, there's some nice pieces. So yeah, that's about as comfortable as I am, just as far as down as I'm going to take it here on the river. But I'll take this home and really clean it up. There's quite a bit of gold in there.
So you can see down there where Patty is, about 50 yards below that, the gold stopped showing up. We know where he is and where Kevin is showing good gold. So I just came upriver. You can see my little care in there. Right off the surface was that last pan. Had really good gold. I'm gonna continue on now and see where it ends. Walking to my next dig spot. And I noticed this right there, center screen. See if we can get her out. Nice looking piece of jasper. This is by far one of the biggest burls I have ever seen.
There heads Travis and Patty back across the river with half the gear. Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. I think my lens is dirty.
See on the other side.
Well, back at the homestead, but it's 4:30, so of course the sun's already going to go down. I think we'll unload the truck, and then tomorrow we'll clean those cons and see what we came up with. Back at the homestead now. I'm going to take the cons that I did bring home. I'm going to classify them down to -20. I'll take the +20 stuff and pan it myself, but we're going to take the -20 and combine it with from that last trip that we went and run it through our super concentrator over there. So yeah, while Travis gets that set up, I will classify this down real quick. See if we have any more +20 pieces from what ended up being a bucket and a half of classified material. Only one +20. It's a nice piece though. Run the rest of that to the super concentrator. Travis already dumped it in. Oh, look at all of that. All sorts of speckles all the way down the super concentrator. kind of cool when you see a little stream 4 foot long of gold. Not so bad for a test run. I'm excited to get up there with the metal detectors and see what we come up with.
All right, guys. Well, we were gonna get that gold all cleaned up and weighed, but as you can see, winter is upon us. I want to thank Jamie and Connor for coming out there with us. That was pretty fun. I'm glad we got Jamie out and across. We did what we set out to prove, though. We did prove that there is gravel at that, or there is gravel at the bar. Yeah, you don't have to do much to prove that there's gravel at the bar, but the gold underneath it, we proved that's there too. Don't forget to go back and watch our last video from the first time we went and explored this bar, because we are giving away that 6+ carat faceted Oregon fire opal. And I think we're actually going to do the drawing for that on Christmas Eve, and hopefully get it posted on Christmas Eve itself. That way, whoever wins, you can tell whoever you want that they're getting that for Christmas. We've also decided that we're going to do a 2nd and 3rd place drawing at least, where we do a pay dirt from us and a pay dirt from Armadillo Mining that comes with a little pan and a little snuffer bottle. Guys, we got stickers made too. I think what we're going to do, instead of doing like Patreon and stuff like we talked about, because those guys just take all your money, we're going to start doing our own pay dirts and selling stickers. So if you guys want a sticker, hit me up. I'm going to do them for $2.50. You just PayPal me. I'll put them. That will include your shipping and everything, $2.50 for a sticker. And if you want to buy more after that, they're $2 a piece. Now I'm rambling again, and apparently some people don't like that. Whatever. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you. I think we're going to go play in some snow. Pitter patter. Let's get at her. Oh, get that shiny. That was backwards.